Hey fellow collectors, here we are back in the CIOPCC. This week we're going to do two one-take tours for the purple section. I've had some requests for this one. It's another cartoon section. The yellow section is cartoons, but it's mostly Simpsons, as you can see here between the break at the window between the yellow and the purple, mostly Simpsons. But as we get into the purple, we're going to get a lot of other cartoon lines. Now the purple wall is about 9 feet along here, and another 4 or 5 feet along here. I'm going to back up my handy dandy stool so that it's a little easier to try to do one whole section, one whole shelf from one spot here. Up on the top shelf, 9 feet up here in the air, we have a double shelf with a riser there that covers the Tick, some Ren and Stimpy, including the Super 7 stuff. Now up along the top here, I put a lot of the carded examples of figures or lines you're going to see down below. There's Bob's Burgers, including stuff from Palisades, Mirage, Mezco. These are usually the variants I'll keep, or the chases or the tail enders that I will keep carded to give an example of what a carded figure looks like. Let's come down to the second shelf where we're going to get into some real Ren and Stimpy. This is the Palisades line, including Log. And you're going to start to see a number of prototypes and pre-production figures. The Kowalski there was an unproduced figure they had planned for the Ren and Stimpy line. The Stimpy that's down in front of him, the light-colored Stimpy, that's another prototype that didn't make it. He was going to be part of the second series. And above there on that little small shelf is the second wave of Logs that they had designed for the second wave of figures. I am missing one of the pre-production figures, the prototypes. I'm going to hunt it down someday. But I left a spot there to remind me. Then we have some more of the earlier Ren and Stimpy figures, carded and loose, and some newer Ren and Stimpy figures, carded and loose. Palisades also did a Pig Panther line. That's a complete line there. They did Fairly Odd Parents, where you'll start to see a bunch more pre-production stuff, including some of the lipsticks that are different scales than what they actually used, and different colors than what they actually used, along with some other of the Palisades lines towards the end. One of the things I like to do with pre-production and prototype figures is stuff that is never been produced, or if it was produced, it was changed from the prototype. So for example, as we scan by there, you're going to notice a horse amongst those horses who has a light blue hair and light blue hooves on his hoofs and feet and tail. That light blue version was a version they did not go with the production colors. So let's step down to the next shelf and get into Futurama. Now this shelf has a variety of Futurama stuff on it, but it really focuses a lot on the Toynami line, which I think is a fantastic line of figures. I really wish we'd gone deeper, but I am happy with what we got. And then it moves over into a nice long South Park line. This is both Mirage and Mezco. There's a variety of scales. The figures are all different sizes between the two. And let's drop down from that shelf to the Invader Zim shelf. Now this is almost entirely Palisades. There's a couple of other minor Invader Zim things along here. But you'll also see a group of pre-production stuff again. Like this set, the living room set here. This is one that while they did produce the living room set, it was very different from this hard copy. The table was in a different spot. The shape of the floor was different. The shape of the picture on the wall was different. So it was quite a bit of change between this and the final version. You'll also notice there's some 150% pre-production figures, the 3 that are on those little round display stands, the head, the dib, and the Ms. Bitters. There's quite a bit of change there. Not only are they 150% of size, but like for example on Ms. Bitters, you can see they changed the bun and gave it more detail when they went to the production figure. We'll move down and finish up with the rest of the Palisades Invader Zim. I am going to get this layer out of my way so I don't have to keep walking around it. And finish up with some more of the Futurama, Tin Toys, Pop-Up People, Pop-Out People, and the more Action Collectibles line. Sadly, I cannot find the apron for that Bender, but as you can see, I have a carded one behind him. On the bottom shelf, we have Earthworm Gym. A couple of different companies have done that, and there's another company doing them now. as well as moving into some of the Adult Swim stuff that Palisades did. Again, you're going to notice some pretty cool pre-production stuff here. Stuff like Ken Phil 7 here, who is this version is completely solid. It's smaller. It was an original sculpt. Then this is an example of a hard copy where all of the parts can come apart. And then that, of course, is the final version they did. You have Mentok and a Peanut over here that were never produced. Caro was never produced from the Aqua Teen Hunger Force. The two Meatwads, one of them is a Diamond Toy exclusive for the retailers. And an example here too, Master Shake, you'll see on the back, this one happened to be for a Hot Topic manager meeting. Palisades would do some of that stuff that was unique for very small groups. So then we move over onto this side and we're going to get into Rick and Morty. The Rick and Morty line, kind of the highlight for me, is the stuff that those two figures you see Mondo's doing. Mondo's got a few more coming out, we know, already on pre-order. As well as those McFarlane sets, those are pretty cool. Also in front of those, we have Gravity Falls, which sadly did not get much of a line, and some Adventure Time stuff. On the floor, we have some games, including a Simpsons game that belongs in the Simpsons section, but there's too many Simpsons games over there. The Bee movie, I bought that simply because it was such a cool, it's a radio-controlled flying bee. I mean, how cool is that? And the few Pops that I own. I do not like Funko Pops, as I have made it clear in the past. However, when you got a line that you're never going to get any other way, like Disenchantment or Big Mouth, I pick them up. And we finish off with a couple other tick things towards the side, including some Happy Meal stuff. All right, that's it for the wall section. In the next video, we will look at the tower.